on. We're moving on. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome a very dynamic, a vibrant young lady. A lady who is serving her third term as a councillor. She has an MBA from the Anglia Ruskin Institute. She is the current vice chairman of the St. Joseph constituency. She is the welfare officer of the National Women's Arm. She has been in this party and the politics for over 18 years. In fact, she served around the U-term period when I came into the U-term of this party. But she's still looking 18 years. So she's still young. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome a very hard-working councillor, the councillor for Curepe Pasea. I speak none other than the hard-working, the dynamic J-Lynn Roopnarine.
Thank you very much, Brian. Honorable Political Leader, Mrs. Kamala Persad-Bisessa, members of Parliament, councillors, aldermen, constituency executive, activists, those of you looking on via the internet, members of the media, and you, my beloved people and constituents of Tunapuna, gathered here at our pavement report. Good evening. Good evening. I am J-Lynn Roopnarine, your humble servant from the electoral district of Curepe Pasea. As many of you know, I have been in active politics for over 18 years. Starting my journey in the constituency of the very own Darby O'Meara, and as an active before coming into being a councillor in 2010. Thanks to my honorable political leader, Mrs. Kamala Persad-Bisessa, who have been to me and would always be the best PM of our country. Agree? Back then, I can say we delivered, and we delivered with care and genuine concern for the citizens and their needs. We built and equipped schools, fire stations, police stations, highways, ECCE centers, hospitals, community centers, professional sporting venues, and I can go on. There was growth and development throughout the length and breadth of this country. 50,000 new jobs, small and medium-sized businesses flourished. Thousands of children benefited from an expanded school feeding program and exposure to the technological development via the laptop program. As a country, we were on the road to prosperity. Under Kamala Persad-Bisessa, our human, financial, social, and economic capital was being developed. Our future was bright. Today, because of Rowley, Imbert, and their gang, our future is blight. After 8 years under this spiteful, vulgar, and vindictive Rowley-led PNM government, we are suffering, and the suffering continues without an end in sight. Crime is at its worst. Don't talk about the deplorable conditions of the nation's roadway and that we endure daily. So many potholes on the nation's roadway. Right now, vehicles have to, and you know how the song go, drift. What are they doing? Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I want to focus on three main things. Drainage. For years, I have been begging Rohan Sinanan to have the Blackman River in Curepe dredged and clean so that the residents of Abdul Lane, Joyo Street, Blackman Lane, Watt Street, and all the surrounding streets wouldn't have to suffer the stress of any time rain drizzle. Can you imagine the trauma and fear of having filthy water, rats, roaches, snakes invade your homes, bringing in diseases, day after day, week after week, year after year? Why is Rohan treating tax-paying citizens like this? Is he waiting for someone to die or to cry crocodile tears? Like his only ministerial colleague who boasted of crying one tear? Is it because we are not rioting? Is it because we are not blocking the roads and protesting in front of his house or his office? Citizens should not be treated like this. We should not have to beg. Rohan is being paid to do a job, and right now he has proven to be an absolute comprehensive failure. In any other country in the world, such failure would be fired. Instead, the Prime Minister endorses such incompetence and arrogance. Education. But it gets worse. Imagine we have not one, but two ministers of education. and I can't tell you which one of them is worse. Children from Curepe, San Juan, Tunapuna continue to be sacrificed because of this PNM spite and hate. 8 years ago, the new Curepe Presbyterian School was 80% complete. Today, while our children have to walk or travel for miles, that school remains abandoned, looking like a forest covered in grass and trees taller than myself. A school that was almost finished was left to rot and become a health and security risk to neighboring residents, as it now houses snakes and pipers. Do you think Rowley and Dolly care? Just 2 weeks ago, I visited that school, and I was told a contract was awarded to have the cafeteria area completed. After 8 years of promise and nothing else, I tell you tonight, I do not believe them at all. The only time that school and the many other abandoned by the PNM will be finished is when Rowley and his band of misfits are thrown out of office. I am totally fed up of the excuses and promises. I am calling on both ministers of education to stop playing games with the lives and the future of our children. If they cannot do the job, get out and stop taking taxpayers' money to spy them. Have some shame and resign. One of the most important components of any successful society, and by extension the communities in them, is its ability to prepare children for their future. Education is the key in this regard, and our children deserve better. Funds. I wish to educate the public a bit about the budget. When the Minister of Finance stands and reads a budget in Parliament, he advises the public of money allocated to the corporations. Our eyes open big thinking we getting something. But as the young people say, don't get waxed. The disappointing part is that the money allocated and the money released are two different things. To date, we are still waiting on funds to provide essential services. The only allocations we get are salaries and provision of scavenging. No one needs to imagine the numerous complaints, photos, and videos I receive daily with large holes in my district. Let me call a few streets: Linden Street, Evans Street, Barrett Street, Belsmy Street, Knoll Street, Centenary Street. Almost like my whole district. Do you know most of these streets have school located on them, yet we can't find funds to do patching? Furthermore, do you know most of these holes are water leaks that were repaired by WASA, but the road restoration remained incomplete for months, causing them to expand to the size of an entire human being could fit. And for those who remember, yours truly ended up in a hole in McInroy Street, highlighting the plights of the residents. Tell me, who reimburses you? Who reimburses you for your damaged vehicle? The corporation? No. The government? No. Better must be done. Better has to come out of such situation, and we the people, you the people, must be able to benefit. This is our primary focus. Without you the people benefiting, nothing works, nothing functions. I am calling on the Minister of Local Government, Honorable Faris Alwari, to stop playing games and have some immediate intervention on releasing funds at the Tunapuna Corporation, and by extension, all of the corporations and borough. I call on him to make sure that the resource received by TPRC Corporation is shared fairly and equally so that my area does not have to suffer because they are being victimized by the PNM. When will our National Security Minister wake up and get the job done? When will he do something to our citizens? Some hope or make us feel safe one day? Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I can go on and on and on and on about this government, this incompetent government. So my UNC family, I am asking you here tonight, join with me. Are you ready to remove the PNM government? Yes. Tunapuna, are you ready? Yes. Enough is enough and the PNM must be removed. Just as I believe we were victorious in the last local government election, we will be victorious when the next general election is called. And we will be telling you, Mr. Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, your current sitting as Prime Minister has expired. And allow me to introduce here tonight the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisesa, who will be the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago and lead this country into good governance. I thank you and good night.